We all like to feel comfy, right? It can give us a sense of safety and predictability. But what happens if the place we feel comfy isn't serving us? What if that comfortable feeling we get from doing the same things we've always done is actually holding us back, halting our growth, and in doing so, minimizing our ability to love ourselves? Today on I Love Me, the podcast, I'll be sharing the one thing you need to know so you feel comfortable moving out of your comfort zone.
Love, 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 I love me.
Simple, inspiring lessons in self-love. Hi, Sweet Pea, it's Tamra here. The comfort zone is an interesting phenomenon. Many people have quite an attachment to the good old comfort zone, sitting in it because it's so, comfy. It's like a big old lounge. It wraps around you, keeping you safe and secure. You know what to expect because it's the lounge you've had since you can remember. The question we need to ask ourselves when life feels super comfy is my life really comfy? Or is it just that it offers me familiarity, a sense of safety, because it's so predictable? Because that's what the comfort zone is. It's essentially where a person goes about life, generally in an anxiety-free way, using a limited set of behaviors to perform in a steady way that gets predictable results without any real sense of risk. It mostly feels easy, routine. It's familiar. It's within our comfort zone. Now, because it offers us this predictability, it can make us feel safe. And as a result, it can feel very appealing to stay in this so-called comfort zone. Because this way of doing life is so routine and doesn't cause too much stress, there's no incentive to reach for anything new. Anything new that might increase our enjoyment of life, or that might strengthen our sense of self, or that might build new skills. And so when we sit in this comfort zone, there is the natural inclination to plateau. We start to form habits in life that with time start to slip under the rug. And before we know it, these same habits are suffocating us, restricting us, holding us back. We become so scared of the new that leaving this comfort zone brings up way too much fear to even contemplate doing something different. Problem is, do the same thing, get the same result. And so we continue to sit snug in our comfy lounge chair of life. Sure, it's gone out of style now, it's wearing thin and got quite lumpy, but hey, it's what we know. People describe this as feeling stuck in a rut, or they get into a habit of giving up on opportunities before they've even considered them. They get into the mindset of, this is how life is, so this is how life will always be. That might be your way of thinking now, but just as you can change your mindset, so too can you change your circumstances. It's for this very reason I decided to relabel comfort zone as small zone. Small zone because when we're sitting there in our comfy comfort zone, we're playing small. We're not stretching ourselves to our full potential. We're not learning and growing and leaning into our true wants and desires. No, we're sitting in our comfort zone. And science shows that when a person does the same thing day in, day out, that our brains become more rigid and less able to adapt to new situations and experiences. Now, while it's okay to sit in our comfort zone from time to time, we just don't want to spend all our time there. Otherwise, we become stagnant. The growth stops. And I'm a big believer that we are here on planet Earth to grow, to learn about ourselves, to learn about the world around us, and in doing so, learn about how to be more loving, compassionate, and kind beings. So, where are we when we're not sitting in small zone? We're in big zone, of course. Or maybe you'd prefer to call it growth zone, because ultimately that's what we do when we move out of comfort zone. We grow. We grow into our bigness. And when I say that, I mean we give ourselves permission to live more authentically, more expansively, and more open to experience the fullness of life. Not only that, we're actually helping to increase our brain's neuroplasticity, so we're better able to adapt to new experiences and challenges. Yes, stepping out of our comfort zone makes us mentally stronger. Now, when you go to step out of your comfort zone, maybe take a new walking route or apply for a new job or approach your relationship in a new way, maybe try learning a new language or musical instrument. When you go to step out of your comfort zone and try something new and different, there will, in most cases, be hesitation, resistance, especially if you've been sitting snug in your comfort zone for a while now. I go into depth on this resistance and how to overcome it in my episode, And This Is How We Self-Sabotage. I'll put a link to that episode in the show notes in case you missed it. But ultimately, the reason there is this hesitation to step out of our comfort zone is because our brains are wired to seek out comfort and familiarity. Hence, fear sets in, often the fear of failure. But as I'll discuss in next week's episode, fear is actually a good thing. For in most cases, fear is simply letting us know that there's an opportunity for growth. So just know that experiencing resistance, fear, or anxiety, they are all natural feelings when we decide to try something new, when we decide to leave our comfort zone. So, what are the benefits of leaving one's comfort zone? The biggie, as I've said, is growth. Also, the ability to lean into our highest potential, to be all that we are here to be, to live more authentically, to build resilience and adaptability, to become more creative. It boosts our confidence and self-esteem, and it expands our horizons. I know moving from Australia to France with my husband and 1-year-old, that totally achieved all of this because it was completely removed from my comfort zone. And yes, there was fear and a little anxiety at times. But there was also so much expansion personally and so many fun times that I would never have had I not have been willing to quite literally leap out of my comfort zone and live on the other side of the world in a country that speaks a different language. Now, I need to say, I've had lots of practice stepping out of my comfort zone, so please don't feel you need to leap out like I did and move your whole life overseas. Start with something that's only a little scary. Maybe a new haircut, or shopping somewhere new, or trying a new class in painting or yoga. Start small. Build your moving out of comfort zone muscle gradually and steadily, and just see what opens up for you. For it's only when we decide to step out of our comfort zone that we're able to create change, that we're able to get different results to what we've been getting. There is a big world out there full of fun, life-enhancing opportunities and invitations to step into our greatness. Our life really can be magical when we're willing to embrace the new, to embrace life. As the American author Neil Donald Welsh once said, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So if you want to live fully and love more abundantly than you have before, then learning how to be comfy being out of your comfort zone is a great strength to cultivate. Now, if there's one very common thing that keeps us hanging out in our comfort zone, it's the fear of failure. So next week, we'll be exploring the truth about failure so you never have to fear it again. If you have this underlying feeling of being a failure, or you choose not to explore new things for fear of being a failure, this episode will change how you feel about failing, so you actually look forward to your next so-called fail. Seriously, failure is a step on the path to happily right now. More on that next week. Until then, make sure you subscribe to the show so that you get every episode as soon as it's released. I look forward to connecting with you next week. And if you're loving what I'm sharing on I Love Me, the podcast, and want to dive deeper into self-love, take a peek at my online school, gettingnaked.com.au, where I teach you how to strip off the layers of childhood conditioning so you can fall in love with you. Sign up for your free self-love starters kit there. And if you do enroll in any of my programs, know that a percentage of profits go to planting trees, so together we can re-robe Mother Earth.